This is Laurent Simons. At just 15 years old with an IQ of at least 145, he already owns a PhD in quantum physics, making him one of the youngest people to achieve this feat. What makes his story more interesting is the fact that at the age of 12, he completed a bachelor's degree in physics with distinction at the University of Antwerp, finishing the 3-year program in only 18 months. Even more fascinating is that he finished high school at the tender age of 8. That is when I was in my second year of primary school. That is mental, ladies and gentlemen, man. He is truly special, man. He is also researching on how to achieve immortality. He has also completed an internship to quantum optics at the Max Planck Institute in Germany, where he began exploring how physics could intersect with medicine. His master's research delved into the analogy between Boston states and black hole, studying Bose-Einstein condensates at ultra cold temperatures. I don't know what that is, but I'm pretty sure it's goddamn cool, man, ladies and gentlemen, and I just have to glaze him, man. Not so long ago, he successfully defended his doctoral thesis at the University of Antwerp. How do you even have a thesis at that age? That is crazy, ladies and gentlemen. And then after this, he enrolled in a second doctoral program in medical science with a focus on artificial intelligence. In football, you have the likes of Lamine Yamal, in the science world and whatnot, you have this kid, man. It is insane to, just to hear that, to hear the marvelous things that he has done at this tender age. Like, how do you even do things that scholars and scientists take a lifetime, to study and whatnot? And he's achieving this feat at this tender age. And so with me being a curious guy, I delve deeper to try and figure out how do we distinguish that this kid is better than we, the normal human beings. The first thing you have to know that is they are called child prodigies, not even. I just scared myself, man. The first thing you have to know is that they are called child prodigies. An article from NeuroNation tries to answer this teaching question of mine. It states that the working memories of this genius is at a super high level compared to we, the normal man, which puts them in the top 1%, in the sense that they are able to memorize and store information and basically keep, like several information at once. They learn new things, make logical decisions, and recall pieces of information which they have stored away in their memories. Another notion that further proved was from a study done in 2014 where 18 child prodigies were assessed and found that they had a commonality when it came to high attention detail as well as exceptional working memory. So it's all about the brain, man. After this brief research, it gave me this thought that if in any way possible, that my child were to ever be, this smart, bro, I'm just gonna give him the world like his parents have, man. If you are a parent, could you have done this? Please put it down in the comments below. And with that said, let us now move into random cool things that happen in the world. The random fact number 1 is that a 17-year-old high school student recently uncovered a 150 million year old dinosaur fossil in Montana this year. Aidan Connor, that was the name of the kid, a senior student from Connecticut. How do you say it, my American people? Joined a paleontology dig with the Elevation Science Institute. Literally on the first day, he spotted a tiny pinky-sized bone sticking out of the ground. Turns out, it belonged to a small Jurassic era dinosaur. Then he said the whole thing was very nerve-wracking because one wrong move could destroy millions of years of history. And now he's thinking about studying paleontology full-time. Interesting, right? Random fact number 2. Archaeologists in southeast Turkey just uncovered over 30 new ancient artifacts that reveal what life looked like more than 11,000 years ago. The discoveries come from Göbekli Tepe and Karahan Tepe. If you know, you know, ladies and gentlemen. These are 2 UNESCO World Heritage Sites sitting above the cradle of civilization. They found a human statue that seems very haunting in stature, with facial expression that looks like someone who unmistakably, passed away. Experts say it's a rare glimpse into Neolithic death rituals and symbolism. Other items include human and animal figurines, vessels, plates, necklaces, and even a bead shaped like a tiny person. Researchers say that these sites are rewriting history, showing that early humans had advanced beliefs, rituals, and social organization long before agriculture even began. Like, come on, man, we are humans, man. We've always been smart. I think science tries to, on a personal note, I think science tries to deny the notion that we humans are actually that smart. It's only the few that could spearhead things, and we have seen time and time again with more evidence that comes out that it's not the case, man. So, Random fact number 3. R37 diamond was just discovered in Botswana. If you don't know where Botswana is, go and check your map. do some study, man, okay? And this diamond is split perfectly in half. One side is pink and the other is completely colorless. This stone, or rather this diamond, stunned researchers because stones like this are usually no bigger than 2 carats. This one is, nearly an inch long and has a razor sharp boundary dividing the 2 colors. And so scientists, being curious as they are, they now came up with a thesis as to how it formed, and they say that the diamond formed in 2 different stages deep in the earth. The pink half was once colorless, but intense geological pressure permanently bent its crystal structure, turning it pink. The other half grew later. Another interesting fact you have to know is that pink diamonds get their color not from chemicals but from lattice distortions, which are tiny twists in the atomic structure that change how light moves through the stone. If you push it too far, it turns brown, and not enough, it just stays clear. This phenomenon is said to be so rare that scientists are treating it like a natural experiment, comparing both halves to learn how diamonds deform, grow, and change. And surprisingly enough, this is not the first time they have found something very interesting in this cave, because sometime last year they found a 2488 carat giant. The earth is so cool, right? Fact number 4. Under a volcanic crater on the Nevada-Oregon border, it is said that they have found the largest lithium deposit ever, which is up to 40 million metrics. It is said this amount of lithium is able to impact the market, the global battery markets for decades, and at today's prices it's worth nearly $1.5 trillion. Damn, imagine, bro, that is boosting the economy by a mile, bro. This deposit sits inside the McDermott caldera, a super volcano that erupted 60 million years ago. After the eruption, the crater filled with a long-lived lake. Over time, volcanic ash, mud, and hot mineral-rich fluids transformed the lake bed into lithium-rich clay, including a rare clay called elite that holds nearly double the lithium of typical deposits. The richest layer at Thacker Pass is over 100 feet thick and sits close to the surface, meaning it can be mined much more easily than deeper hard rock deposits. With global lithium demand expected to hit 1 million tons a year by 2040, this basin has drawn massive attention. Of course it would, because now investors and these tech companies and whatever, they are like, what, how are you going to make money off of it? Because it's all about money in this world, right? What are your thoughts on that? Please do tell me in the comments below. And the final random fact is number 5. Scientists have just found a US Navy submarine lost for over 100 years, perfectly preserved in the cold dark Pacific off the coast of San Diego. The submarine was discovered by the Woods Hole Oceanographic Institution and the US Navy using the submersible Alvin, which is said to be legendary, and the robotic explorer Sentry. Together they created high-resolution images showing the submarine lying on its starboard side. This wreck tells the story of a tragedy that happened in 1917. when the submarine collided with its sister boat in thick fog during training trials, and the site is now protected as a maritime war grave. The mission also revealed another interesting piece of history, which was a 1950 Navy torpedo bomber, a TBF Avenger, that crash landed during training. This one has a different story because the crew survived, but the plane is the only thing that, a crash, and now decades later science and technology has found it, and now I am telling it to you guys. So thank you guys for watching. If you love this, because this is the same thing I do with my TikToks and shorts, saying random facts, and if you love this kind of content, guys, just tell me anything. Even if it's one of you guys, if you tell me anything, I'm gonna continue doing it out of the those hard scripted content until I get the necessary resources to go out there and do like some high quality stuff, like those investigative people like Tale Oliveira and whatnot. So if you like this, please do tell me in the comments. Please do subscribe. I really want to monetize this channel by before next year, because I'm seeing my peers, people monetizing their channel in the space of a week or two. Why not me? And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.